So, today, let's talk about how business can be easy and how you can become even more magnetic. And it's not in the traditional ways of marketing. So, I'm going to share a little bit about my story. I essentially graduated from college with a degree in graphic design. All I cared about at this point in my life was field hockey, but I knew I had to get into the real world. So, I landed a graphic design position. No one told me that career would come with sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours a day. So, when all I cared about was athletics and field hockey, sitting in a cube for 8 hours a day was some kind of torture. And very quickly started scouring the internet trying to land a field hockey coaching job, which I did. Fast forward, I ended up switching careers, becoming an art teacher and coaching field hockey for close to a decade of my life. When I met my now husband, I was gifted a camera from my mom. I picked up my love for photography all over again and eventually started a photography business that very quickly grew and allowed me to quit my job teaching. My wedding photography business was very successful in my area. I was able to build a team of photographers and it all happened really fast. It was a wild ride and I started teaching other photographers how to start their business, fell in love with helping women realize that they could start a business and make money and their eyes would get really big like, wait, I can actually make a living? That was what I loved. Then began my quest of figuring out how to be a business coach. Eventually kind of fell into the BBD community in 2019, fell in love with my coach's coaching style. So luckily, he was hiring coaches and I applied. I did not get in my first year, got in my second year. Now I'm in this place where I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, I am a damn good business coach. I stopped shaming myself. I used to shame myself for trying new things. Now that I can look back at this 10-year journey, now that I look back on that, I can see it's always been the same guiding light that was put in me by my mom at a very young age when she would say to me over and over, find a way to do what you love first, then make a living doing that. For the first time in my life, I feel like I've found what I want to do for the next 30 years. And the reason that it works is because I'm able to wake up every morning and be creative and do something different. And my coaching calls with my Elevate members, I get to bring to the table whatever it is that I'm inspired by. I'm not following anybody's rules. I get to make the rules. And we do have a formula, we do have processes that I'm taking them through. Really, for the most part, I get to show up to these calls and share whatever's on my heart, whatever's on my mind that I think is going to provide them value and continue to ask them really great questions that get them thinking, that get them moving outside the box. And our last coaching call was so powerful because we talked about imposter syndrome, which is kind of a buzzword, right? But everybody has these voices that tell them to stop, slow down, go a different direction. Whatever your voice is telling you, whether it's telling you you're not good enough or whether it's telling you why, what business do I have here? We all have the voices. Everyone's is a little different, but we all have the voices. And what if that imposter syndrome or that voice, whatever your mean girl voice is, what if that is the signal that you are about to do something expansive? That's all it is. It's the signal, it's the bell, it's the buzzer that something awesome is about to happen. And that was a really fun conversation. And I wouldn't have had that conversation if I came to the table with this really strict itinerary. What I have done to build Elevate, which is my signature program, what I did that made Elevate so successful this first year is I actually kind of unlearned everything in my mind about digital marketing and course creation and membership creation and launching. I just took it all out of my brain and I said, what worked when I built that photography business so fast and so successfully? What worked? And I'm like, it always goes back to community, to in person, to over delivering, managing expectations, customer service. It was very little about the marketing itself or the business plan. It was truly all in the mission and how I made people feel. And, I was sharing my photography journey way before I even opened my business doors or was taking any money. And people were so invested because I was sharing everything. And they were following along. So by the time I was ready to start taking paid sessions, I already had this community of cheerleaders ready, right? Please let me pay you $100 for pictures. Please let me pay you $200 for pictures. And it just grew and grew and grew. It had so little to do with marketing and everything to do with building a community around the work I was doing. So I went back to the basics and I brought back my local meetups and hosted them for free this time. This used to be a paid community. This was like a whole business model just in having this local paid community. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it for free and just practice all these new skills that I have and see what happens. When I started growing this in-person community that really got to know, like, and trust me so much faster, everything online started to grow. If you can take your business local and really sit with people in person and show them your service, your product, your craft, whatever it is, and let them meet you in person, it is going to grow 5x or 10x faster. And I had this moment where, because I started paying attention to these little moments and being so grateful for all these teeny tiny learning lessons. And really early last year, I went to a friend's meetup just because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put myself out there again and start going to local stuff. And when I left, I had 10 new contacts, 10 new Instagram followers that are real humans, 10 new kind of community advocates. And I was like, that hit different. Spending 2 hours in that room got me more results, than an entire week or even month of digital marketing. And it's those mission driven businesses that thrive, right? When we align those community driven goals and turn work into a platform for change, that's when marketing and business becomes easy. So join us inside Elevate. The doors only open to the public twice a year, but if you are on the wait list, you can possibly get in a little bit faster. I'll say that. So you can go to elizabethhenson.co/elevate. In the meantime, get out in your community, go attend some local things or host some local things. Remember that everything in your journey, even if it feels like a pivot, even if it feels like you're starting over, it's all part of it. It is all part of your purpose, and figuring out what you don't want is just as important as figuring out what you do want. And I would not be here loving my life so much if I hadn't done every single thing that I told you about, from teaching, from wedding photography, from teaching people how to use their cameras. I would not be here. Even majoring in graphic design, that entire process over the last 20 years of my life led me here. And as always, I'm Elizabeth, and thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube channel today, where we help creative business owners embrace their messy success so that they can get the lessons they need or the results they want. I hope you'll stick around for our next video, or like or subscribe to our channel, and I will see you next time.